The skies above Earth darkened as the massive ship entered orbit silently. The vessel belonged to the Zalari, an advanced alien race from across the galaxy. Their queen Zara was in grave danger. Zara sat on her ornate throne, her blue skin shimmering. Under the dim lights of her chamber, her forearms clutched the armrests tightly. She had nowhere else to turn. Her enemies, the brutal Kryvax, were closing in, and her royal guards had been decimated in the last attack. She turned to her advisor Nyx, who stood nearby, humanoid but with silvery skin and eyes that changed color with her mood. Nyx was the one who had suggested their current course of action. Earth was not an advanced planet by galactic standards, but humans had one quality that made them unique in the universe: their fighting spirit. When backed into a corner, humans would fight with unimaginable ferocity. Nyx had studied Earth for decades and knew of 5 female warriors whose skills were legendary. They would be perfect for this mission on Earth. Amy Baker was in her garage fixing her motorcycle. The 30-year-old former Special Forces operative had left military life behind, but still kept her skills sharp. Her phone buzzed with an unknown number. She answered it at the same moment. Across the country, Kate Wilson was finishing her morning run. The champion boxer wiped sweat from her brow as a strange light enveloped her. In Nevada, Susan Lee was demonstrating survival skills to a group of tourists in the desert. The wilderness expert froze as she spotted something in the sky above them. Olivia Green, a brilliant strategist and hacker, was in her apartment surrounded by computer screens when her devices all shut down simultaneously, and Linda Brown, the renowned martial artist, was meditating in her dojo when she sensed a presence behind her. Within moments, all 5 women found themselves transported to the alien vessel. Standing before the blue-skinned queen, Zara rose from her throne, her forearms extended in greeting. The humans looked at each other in shock. Amy stepped forward. "Are you the one who brought us here?" Zara nodded. "My name is Queen Zara, of the Zalari. My kingdom is under attack by a merciless enemy. They will be here soon. I need your help." Kate frowned. "Why us? There must be others in the galaxy more advanced than humans." Nyx stepped forward. Her eyes glowed purple. "Humans possess something rare in the universe. You fight with everything you have when the odds are impossible. We have observed your species. Your determination is unmatched." Susan crossed her arms. "So you kidnapped us. We did not have time for diplomatic channels," Zara explained. "The Kryvax will arrive in 3 days. They will destroy me, and then your planet will be next. They see all developing worlds as threats to be eliminated." Olivia studied the alien technology surrounding them, fascinated. "I still don't understand what 5 humans can do against an alien." Armada. Zara gestured, and a hologram appeared showing massive, armored aliens with red eyes and razor-sharp claws. The Kryvax rely on brute force. Their warriors are 8 feet tall and incredibly strong, but they are not creative. They follow strict battle protocols. If we can disrupt their command structure, their forces will fall into disarray. Linda had remained silent until now, studying the aliens with a tactical eye. "Their armor appears to have weak points at the joints," she observed. Amy nodded, already forming a plan. "We would need weapons training. On your technology." Zara smiled for the first time. "You will have everything you need." The women were led to their quarters aboard the massive vessel. Each room was designed to accommodate human needs but with alien aesthetics. Crystal walls glowed with soft blue light, and the beds seemed to float above the floor. Amy paced her room, unable to rest. Her mind raced with questions. Was this real? Were they really in space aboard an alien ship about to fight in an interstellar war? A soft chime indicated someone at her door. It slid open, revealing Kate, the boxer. Her expression was grim. "So what do you think?" Amy asked. "Is this some kind of elaborate hoax?" Kate shook her head. "I punched a wall earlier. My hand should be broken, but look." She held up her hand, which showed no sign of injury. "This place, it changes things. Physics works differently here. We're definitely not on Earth anymore." The two were joined by Susan, Linda, and Olivia. They gathered in Amy's room, speaking in hushed tones. "We need to figure out if we can trust these aliens," Olivia said. I tried accessing their computer systems. They have incredible technology. But there's something they aren't telling us. Susan nodded. I noticed the way the guards look at us. It's like we're some kind of secret. Weapon Linda, who had been quiet, spoke up. They are desperate. The Queen, her eyes showed true fear. Whatever these Kryvacs are, they must be truly terrible. A holographic screen appeared in the center of the room showing Nyx. The Queen's advisor bowed slightly. I hope your accommodations are satisfactory. Your training begins in 1 hour. I suggest you prepare yourselves. After Nyx disappeared, the women exchanged determined looks. Well, Amy said with a shrug, I always wanted to see the stars. The training facility was enormous, a cavernous space that could change its environment at will. One moment it was a dense jungle, the next, a barren wasteland. Nyx stood before them, flanked by several Zalari warriors, each with blue skin and 4 arms, though not as richly adorned as the Queen. Our technology will enhance your natural abilities, Nyx explained. Each of you will be given a battle suit calibrated to your specific skills. The suits were incredible. Skin-tight, but flexible. They responded to the wearer's thoughts. When Amy put hers on, she felt stronger, faster, more alert. The suit was black with subtle blue energy lines running through it. For the next several hours, they trained with various weapons, energy bows that never missed their target, gauntlets that amplified strength 10-fold, force shields that could stop almost any attack. By the end of the session, all 5 women were exhausted but exhilarated. The alien technology was beyond anything they could have imagined. As they rested, Zara herself appeared before them. Her holographic form shimmered slightly. You have done well for your first day, she said. But time grows short. The Kryvacs fleet has been detected. They will arrive sooner than we anticipated. You have only 2 days to prepare. The gravity of their situation began to sink in. They were about to face an enemy unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. And somehow they had to win, not just for the alien Queen, but for Earth itself. The stars outside the viewport seemed cold and distant. Amy gazed at them, wondering if she would ever see home again. The second day of training pushed the women to their limits. Each was given specialized equipment that matched their skills. Amy, as the former Special Forces soldier, received a flight pack that allowed her to soar through space with precision. Her combat experience made her a natural leader, and the others looked to her for direction. Kate, the boxer, was given power gauntlets that amplified her already formidable striking power. When she hit a training drone, it shattered into thousands of pieces. Her eyes widened with amazement. Susan, the wilderness expert, was paired with an energy bow that seemed to anticipate her movements. Before she even aimed, the weapon would adjust itself for the perfect shot. She had always been a good hunter, but this was beyond anything she had experienced. Linda, the martial artist, received twin energy blades that extended from her wrists. The weapons responded to her thoughts, becoming extensions of her body. Her movements were fluid and deadly as she cut through, training dummies with ease. Olivia, the strategist and hacker, was given access to Zalari computer systems. Her suit enhanced her mental capabilities, allowing her to process information at incredible speeds. She quickly began to understand alien code and communication protocols as they trained. Nyx explained more about the enemy they were facing. The Kryvacs believed themselves to be the only worthy species in the galaxy. She said, they see all others as either threats to be eliminated or resources to be harvested. They have destroyed thousands of worlds. Amy frowned during a break in training. But why are they targeting the Zalari specifically? Zara, who had been observing, silently stepped forward. Because we stand in their way, she explained. The Zalari have protected developing worlds for millennia, Earth included. Without us, there would be nothing to stop the Kryvacs from consuming every planet in this sector of the galaxy. The revelation stunned the women. The fate of countless worlds, including Earth, rested on their shoulders. After training, they gathered for a meal. The alien food was strange but nutritious, glowing slightly and changing flavor with each bite. Kate spoke between mouthfuls. So, what's the actual plan? Are we just going to fly up to their massive fleet and ask them to leave? Nyx, who had joined them, shook her head. We have identified their command ship. It coordinates all Kryvax forces. If we can infiltrate it and disrupt their leadership, the fleet will be thrown into chaos and— How exactly do we get onto this command ship? Linda asked. We have a small stealth vessel. Nix explained. It can approach undetected, but only for a short time. You will need to board quickly, eliminate resistance, and reach the central command node. Olivia looked up from her meal. And what about their security systems? I have been studying their encryption. Nix replied. You should be able to bypass their protocols with the help of your enhanced suit. But time will be limited as they continued discussing strategy. A loud alarm suddenly blared throughout the ship. Red lights flashed and Zalari crew members began running through the corridors. Nix received a message through her communication device. Her eyes widened, turning a deep red with fear. The Kryvax. They have arrived early. A scout ship has found us. The women rushed to the bridge following Nix. Through the massive viewport, they saw a smaller vessel approaching. The alien ship was angular and red with spikes protruding from its hull. It looked designed to inspire fear. Zara stood at the center of the bridge, issuing commands to her crew. Her four hands moved in complex patterns as she operated controls. They have not yet alerted the main fleet. She said, We still have time, but we must deal. With this scout, Amy stepped forward. Let us handle it. We need the practice anyway. Zara looked at the 5 humans with surprise. Are you certain? Kate cracked her knuckles. Time to test these fancy suits in real combat. The plan came together quickly. The women would take the small stealth ship, intercept the Kryvax scout, and eliminate any threat before they could alert the main fleet as they prepared to depart. Nix approached Amy. The Kryvax. You will encounter. They are not like humans. They feel no pain, no fear, no mercy. Do not hesitate. Amy nodded, understanding the gravity of the warning. The stealth ship was sleek and black, designed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Olivia took the controls with Susan beside her while the others prepared their weapons. They launched silently, approaching the Kryvax scout from below. Our scans show 5 Kryvax warriors aboard, Olivia reported. They haven't detected us. Yet Amy took a deep breath. Everyone ready? This is for real. The others nodded determination. In their eyes, the stealth ship latched onto the hull of the Kryvax vessel with barely a sound. Using laser cutters, they created an entry point and slipped inside. The interior of the enemy ship was dimly lit with red emergency lighting. The corridors were tall and wide, designed for the massive Kryvax warriors. They moved silently through the ship, their suits adapting to match the dark metal of the walls. The enhanced senses provided by their gear allowed them to detect movement ahead. Around the corner, they encountered their first Kryvax warrior. It was enormous, over 8 feet tall, with thick gray skin covered in natural armor plates. Its 4 red eyes scanned the corridor, and massive claws flexed at its sides before it could react. Kate launched forward. Her enhanced speed caught the alien by surprise, her power gauntlets connected with its midsection. The impact sent the massive creature flying back, crashing into a wall. But the Kryvax was tougher than expected. It rose quickly, a guttural sound emerging from its throat. Linda moved next, her energy blade slicing through the weak points in its natural armor. Green fluid sprayed as the creature finally fell. The noise had alerted the others. They heard heavy footsteps approaching. From multiple directions, 4 more to go. Susan whispered, readying her bow. The battle that followed was intense. The Kryvax were incredibly strong and resilient, but the women were faster, more agile, and their enhanced weapons gave them an edge. Susan took one down with precision shots to its eyes, while Linda and Kate coordinated an attack on another. Amy engaged the third, using her flight pack to stay out of reach while striking at vulnerable points. The final Kryvax was the largest, clearly the leader. It roared a challenge, its voice shaking the very walls of the ship. Olivia, who had been hacking into the ship's systems, called out from behind. I need 2 more minutes to wipe their communications. The others nodded, forming a defensive line. Between Olivia and the approaching threat, the Kryvax commander charged forward with surprising speed. The massive Kryvax commander barreled toward them, its armored body like a moving tank. Its 4 eyes burned with hatred as it swung claws that could shred metal. Amy, Kate, and Linda scattered in different directions using the tactics they had practiced. The commander was powerful but slow. Unable to track their enhanced movements, Kate struck first, landing a blow to the creature's knee joint. The Kryvax stumbled, but remained standing. A backhand swing nearly caught Kate, who barely ducked in time. Linda attacked from behind, her energy blades seeking vulnerable points between armor plates. The creature roared in pain, spinning with surprising speed. Amy used her flight pack to launch herself at the commander's head. She slammed both feet into its face, sending it staggering backward. Susan, from her position further back, fired 3 rapid shots from her energy bow. All 3 hit the same eye, causing the creature to howl in agony. Done, Olivia shouted. All communications are wiped, and I've set the ship to self-destruct. We have 5 minutes. The Kryvax commander, sensing defeat, charged toward Olivia. Kate intercepted with a flying kick that connected with the creature's throat. Temporarily stunned, the alien warrior fell to one knee. Linda and Amy attacked, simultaneously from opposite sides, their weapons finding gaps in the creature's natural armor. It collapsed, finally defeated. The women regrouped, moving quickly back to their entry point. The ship's lighting had changed to a pulsing red as the self-destruct sequence continued its countdown. Just as they reached their stealth vessel, they felt the enemy ship shudder. A computerized voice spoke in an alien language. Olivia translated, "It's detecting the main Kryvax fleet. The countdown is accelerating." They barely made it back to their ship and detached from the hull when the scout vessel exploded behind them. The blast wave pushed their small craft spinning through space, but Olivia managed to regain control as they returned to the Zalari mothership. They were met with cheers. The alien crew gathered in the docking bay, their eyes glowing with various colors that Amy had learned represented excitement and respect. Zara herself was waiting. She bowed to them, an unusual gesture for a queen. "You have proven yourselves far beyond our expectations," she said. Her voice was filled with genuine admiration. The women, though pleased with their success, knew that this had been merely a prelude. The main Kryvax fleet would be arriving soon, and the real battle was yet to begin. After a brief celebration, they returned to planning. The destruction of the scout ship had bought them time, but also heightened the risk. When the scout failed to report, the main fleet would become suspicious. Nix brought them to a holographic war room, where 3-dimensional images of space showed the projected path of the Kryvax fleet. "They will arrive in approximately 18 hours, she explained. Their fleet consists of 50 warships surrounding a central command vessel. That is your target." Olivia studied the holographic display. "The command ship is massive. How are we supposed to infiltrate something that size?" Zara manipulated the display, zooming in on a section of the command vessel. "There is a maintenance entry point here," she explained. "It is used for repair drones. We believe your stealth ship can approach through this route." The plan became more detailed. The 5 women would infiltrate the command ship while the Zalari fleet engaged the Kryvax armada as a distraction. Once inside, they would make their way to the central command node. Olivia would hack into their systems and plant a virus that would disrupt communication between ships. Meanwhile, the others would sabotage key systems and, if possible, eliminate the Kryvax leadership. The planning session lasted hours. Every detail was analyzed, every contingency examined. The women contributed their own ideas, many of which surprised the Zalari with their creativity and unorthodox thinking. When they finally broke to rest, Amy found herself unable to sleep. She wandered the corridors of the alien ship, eventually finding her way to an observation deck. The view was breathtaking. Stars stretched endlessly before her. Somewhere among them was Earth, looking like any other small blue dot. She sensed someone approach and turned to see Zara. The alien queen moved gracefully despite her unusual physiology. "You cannot sleep," Zara observed. "Neither can I." Amy smiled slightly. "The fate of multiple worlds resting on your shoulders will do that." Zara was silent for a moment. Then she asked, "Are you afraid?" Amy considered the question. "Yes, but not of dying. I'm afraid of failing. Everyone back on Earth, they have no idea what's happening. No idea that their entire future depends on what we do tomorrow." Zara nodded. I understand that burden all too well. My people look to me for protection. Most will never know how close we came to extinction, or how 5 humans from a developing world saved them. They stood in companionable silence watching the stars. Why did you choose humans? Amy asked finally. There must be other species more advanced, more capable. Zara turned her gaze to Amy. There are species with better technology, more resources, greater numbers, but none with your adaptability, your creativity, your sheer determination. When humans fight for something they believe in, they are unstoppable. That is what we need. That is why you were chosen. The conversation gave Amy a renewed sense of purpose. When she returned to her quarters, she finally managed to sleep. Morning came too quickly. They gathered for a final briefing. Each woman was given specialized equipment for the mission, explosives, hacking devices, and emergency medical supplies as they prepared to board their stealth ship. Kate spoke up. Not much for speeches, but I want to say it's been an honor, training with all of you. We're about to do something no humans have ever done, fight an alien war to save Earth. No matter what happens today, we made history. The others nodded in agreement. A bond had formed between them, forged through shared danger and purpose. Olivia, the most technically minded of the group, had been quiet, but now she shared her thoughts. The Kryvax communication systems are complex but hierarchical. If we can reach the command node, I can introduce a virus that will cascade through their entire fleet. Every ship will lose coordination with the others. Susan checked her weapon one last time. These Kryvax may be bigger and stronger than us, but they lack imagination. They fight like machines, we fight like humans. That gives us an edge, Linda, who was usually reserved, added. They expect us to fear them. But fear is a human emotion that we can control. They have no concept of courage because they have never needed it. We can use that against them. Amy looked at her team, proud of what they had become in such a short time. 5 ordinary women transformed into humanity's best hope were ready. She said simply. They boarded the stealth ship as the Zalari crew made final preparations. Nyx approached, giving each of them a small crystal. This contains a neural imprint of the Zalari language and basic knowledge of Kryvax technology. She explained, place it against your temple, and it will transfer the information directly to your mind. It will help you navigate their systems. The sensation was strange, but not painful. Knowledge flooded their minds. Languages, symbols, and technical specifications that would have taken years to learn were absorbed in seconds. The time has come, Zara announced as she entered the docking bay. Her presence commanded immediate respect from everyone present. The Kryvax fleet has been detected. They will arrive within the hour with final salutes. Exchanged, the women boarded their ship. The mission to save 2 worlds had begun. The stealth ship glided silently through the void of space, its advanced cloaking technology rendering it nearly invisible to sensors. From the viewport, the women could see the approaching Kryvax fleet. Dozens of massive vessels arranged in a precise formation around the central command ship. Their design was angular and aggressive, with red energy pulsing through external conduits. Olivia piloted their small craft with expert precision, despite having only days to learn alien technology. Susan sat beside her, monitoring enemy communications. Kate, Linda, and Amy checked their weapons and equipment one final time. Each knew their role in the mission. Amy would lead the infiltration team, Kate and Linda would provide combat support, and Olivia would handle technical aspects while Susan covered their escape route. The Zalari fleet appeared behind them, elegant blue ships with organic curves unlike the harsh lines of the Kryvax vessels. They moved into attack formation, drawing the attention of the enemy. Armada, our diversion is working. Susan reported, the Kryvax are responding to the Zalari attack. Their focus is shifting away from the command ship. Olivia guided their vessel toward the maintenance entry point. Zara had identified. The massive command ship loomed before them, dwarfing their small craft. The entry point was barely visible, a small port used for repair drones. As they approached, warning signals flashed across their console. They're scanning this sector. Susan warned. Adjusting. Our cloak frequency tense moments passed as they held position waiting to see if they had been detected. The scanning beam passed over them once, twice, then moved on. Clear, Susan confirmed. They didn't see us. Olivia resumed their approach, easing the ship toward the entry port with delicate movements. The battle between the Zalari and Kryvax fleets had fully engaged now. Energy weapons and explosive ordnance lit up space around them. Almost there. Olivia whispered more to herself than the others. A maintenance port was designed for drones half the size of their ship, but Olivia managed to navigate through with only inches to spare. They felt the hull scrape against metal as they entered the dark tunnel, wherein Amy said, activating her suit's tactical display. The command center should be 17 levels up. They docked their ship in a maintenance bay that was mercifully empty. The women exited quickly, their suits adapting to match the dark metal of the Kryvax ship. The interior was cavernous, designed for beings much larger than humans. Red emergency lighting cast eerie shadows along the corridors. The air was thick and humid, making breathing difficult even with their suits' atmospheric filters. They moved swiftly, avoiding main corridors, and using maintenance shafts where possible. The knowledge imparted by Nyx Crystal allowed them to understand Kryvax directional markers and warning signs. After climbing several levels, they encountered their first patrol, 2 massive Kryvax warriors, walking side by side. Their heavy footsteps echoed through the corridor. The women pressed themselves into a recessed doorway, barely avoiding detection. As the patrol passed, Amy noticed something. Their armor is different from the scout ship, more advanced. She pointed to glowing red sections. These must be power conduits. Hit those and we might disable them quickly. They continued their ascent, encountering more patrols as they approached the command levels. Each time they managed to avoid detection, either by hiding or taking alternative routes. Finally, they reached a massive door guarded by 4 Kryvax warriors. These were larger than the others with more elaborate armor, clearly elite guards. "We can't avoid them," Amy whispered. "We need to take them out quickly and quietly." Linda studied the guards, her enhanced vision allowing her to spot weaknesses in their armor. "The neck joints are exposed. We can target those." Kate nodded, flexing her gauntleted hands. "They move in patterns. Every 30 seconds they face away from each other during their scan rotation." "That's our window," Amy agreed with the assessment. "On my mark," she said. 3, 2, 1 mark. They moved with enhanced speed thanks to their suits, each targeting a specific guard. Linda reached hers first, her energy blade slicing through the exposed neck joint before the creature could react. Kate struck her target with a devastating uppercut that snapped its head back. Amy disabled the third with a precise shot to its neck. The 4th guard managed to turn, raising a weapon, but Susan fired her energy bow from behind the others. The shot pierced the guard's eye, killing it instantly, but not before it triggered an alarm. Red lights flashed throughout the corridor. A harsh siren blared. "They've spotted us." Kate stated the obvious. "No time for stealth now," Amy said. "Move." They rushed through the door into a wide corridor. Beyond, they could see the command center, a vast chamber filled with Kryvax operators and officers. Kryvax warriors poured from side passages, converging on their position. Linda and Kate took defensive positions while Susan provided covering fire. Amy turned to Olivia. "Can you still do this?" Olivia nodded but looked concerned. "I need to reach the central node." She pointed to a raised platform at the center of the command chamber, where a massive Kryvax stood surrounded by what appeared to be senior officers. "That has to be their leader." Amy made a quick decision. "Susan, stay here with Olivia. Cover our retreat. Kate, Linda with me, we're going to create a diversion." Before anyone could object, Amy activated her flight pack and soared into the command center, Kate and Linda following close behind. The surprise of their attack created momentary confusion among the Kryvax. The 3 women tore through the command center, Amy firing precision shots while Linda sliced through control panels, creating chaos. Kate engaged any Kryvax who tried to approach, using her incredible strength to throw enemies into each other. The diversion worked. Olivia slipped along the wall with Susan providing cover, making her way toward the central node. Amy spotted the Kryvax leader, a massive specimen nearly 12 feet tall with natural armor, thicker than the others. It wore an elaborate headdress that seemed to be both ceremonial and functional. The leader saw her too, its 4 eyes locked onto her position. It bellowed a command and several warriors moved to intercept. Emmy dodged energy blasts using her flight pack to stay mobile. Kate and Linda worked in perfect coordination below, creating a path of destruction through the command center. Susan, from her position near the entrance, picked off Kryvax operators attempting to call for reinforcements. Her energy bow never missed. Olivia had almost reached the central node when a massive warrior blocked her path. Susan tried to target it, but other Kryvax blocked her shot. Olivia was on her own. The tech specialist dodged the first attack, the Kryvax claw smashing into a control panel where she had stood a moment before. She rolled between its legs, emerging behind it. Before it could turn, she attached a small device to its armor. The device activated, sending electrical pulses through the Kryvax armor. It convulsed, then collapsed. Olivia reached the central node, a complex array of alien technology that controlled the entire fleet. She immediately began interfacing with it, her suit translating the Kryvax operating system, the knowledge from Nick's crystal guiding her actions. Amy saw that Olivia had reached her goal. Now they needed to buy her time. She flew directly toward the Kryvax leader, firing shots to get its attention. The massive alien swatted at her like a human might swat at a fly. Amy barely avoided its claws. The leader was incredibly fast despite its size. Kate and Linda were surrounded, fighting back-to-back against overwhelming odds. Though they had defeated many Kryvax, more kept coming. Susan was running low on energy for her bow. She switched to a backup weapon, continuing to defend their position. Amy needed to end this. The longer the battle continued, the more likely that reinforcements would arrive. She noticed an energy conduit above the leader's position. If damaged, it might create enough of a distraction. She called to Kate, who understood immediately. Kate threw a damaged piece of equipment with incredible force. It struck the conduit, causing an explosion. Energy rained down on the command center. Chaos erupted throughout the command center as the energy conduit exploded. Arcs of crimson power cascaded down, striking Kryvax warriors and equipment alike. The alien leader staggered back, momentarily stunned by the blast. Amy took advantage of the confusion to regroup with Kate and Linda. The three fought their way toward Olivia, who was still working at the central node, her fingers flying across alien interfaces. "How much longer?" Amy shouted over the din of battle. "Almost there," Olivia responded. Without looking up, "I need to bypass their final security protocols." Susan joined them, her energy bow nearly depleted. "We've got company," she warned, nodding toward a new wave of Kryvax warriors entering the command center. These were different from the others. Their armor was more elaborate, and they carried energy weapons that looked far more advanced than anything they had encountered. So far, elite guards, Linda identified. "We can't let them reach Olivia." The 4 women formed a defensive perimeter around their teammate, each using their specialized skills to hold back the enemy. Kate smashed through armor with her enhanced strength. Linda sliced with surgical precision with her energy blades. Susan used the last of her bow energy for precise shots at vulnerable points, and Amy coordinated their defense using her tactical experience. The Kryvax leader had recovered and now approached their position. Its massive form towered over even its elite guards. Its eyes burned with an intelligence that the other Kryvax seemed to lack. "You fight well for primitives," it spoke, the words translated by their suits. "But you cannot stand against the might of the Kryvax Empire. Your species will be harvested. Your planet stripped of resources." Amy was shocked that it could communicate, but didn't let it distract her. "Today is not that day," she replied. The leader raised a massive hand. The elite guards stopped their attack. "Interesting." It tilted its enormous head. "The leader wishes to observe the humans. Who dared to challenge us?" Linda whispered to Amy, "It's stalling." "Waiting for reinforcements." Amy nodded, then called to Olivia. "Status." "Almost there." Olivia responded. "The virus is uploading. I need 30 more seconds." The Kryvax leader seemed to understand. "What are you doing at our command node?" it demanded, stepping forward. Kate moved to intercept. "Not another step, big guy." The leader ignored her, addressing Amy directly. You lead these warriors. Explain your purpose, or they will die slowly. Amy knew she needed to keep it talking just a bit longer. Well, since you asked so nicely, we're here to shut down your entire fleet. The leader made a sound that might have been laughter. You five against the might of the Kryvax impossible, done, Olivia called out. Triumphantly, the virus is uploaded. Immediately, the command center lights flickered. Alert sounds blared from multiple stations. Kryvax operators rushed to their controls in obvious distress. What have you done? The leader roared, all pretense of calm, vanishing. Olivia stood proud. Despite her exhaustion, I've introduced a recursive logic bomb into your command systems. It's spreading to every ship in your fleet right now. In about 60 seconds, you'll lose control of weapons, navigation, life support. Everything. The leader lunged forward with shocking speed. Its massive claws aimed directly at Olivia's. Throtomy intercepted with her flight pack slamming into the leader at full force. The impact sent both of them crashing into a control panel. The leader's weight and strength nearly crushed her, but her suit absorbed some of the pressure. Kate and Linda attacked the leader from both sides, while Susan pulled Olivia to safety. The elite guards moved to protect their leader, but the virus was already causing chaos. Throughout the command center, systems failed, screens went dark, and emergency protocols activated randomly. We need to go, Amy shouted, extracting herself from the leader's grasp. The virus will affect our ship too if we're not clear of the interference range. The 5 women fought their way back toward the entrance. The Kryvax in disarray as their communications and coordination systems failed. Behind them, the leader roared orders, but without the command systems, the other Kryvax could not coordinate their attacks. They fought as individuals, not as a unit, making them far less effective. The women reached the corridor beyond the command center. Amy took a final look back. The leader stood amid the chaos, its 4 eyes finding hers across the distance. There was something in that alien gaze, recognition perhaps, or respect, no time to dwell on it. They rushed back through the corridors toward their ship. Occasional Kryvax warriors blocked their path, but without central coordination, they were easily outmaneuvered. They reached the maintenance bay where their ship waited. Olivia immediately began the launch sequence while the others secured the area. Through the viewports, they could see the battle outside. The Kryvax fleet was in chaos. Ships drifted out of formation, some firing at random, others completely dark. The Zalari were pressing their advantage, targeting disabled vessels. Amy felt the engines rumble to life. We're clear of the docking clamps, Olivia announced, preparing for departure. Just then, a massive form appeared in the doorway. The Kryvax leader had followed them. Its armor was damaged, its breathing labored, but the hatred in its eyes burned bright. You will not escape it, growled, stepping toward the ship. Amy made a split-second decision. The ship was ready to launch, but the leader could still damage it enough to strand them. She looked at the others. Go, she said. I can buy you time. No, Kate protested. We're not leaving anyone behind. The leader approached each, step shaking the deck. You've lost humans, it snarled. You may disable our fleet, but you will not live to see it. Amy noticed fuel lines running along the wall of the bay. A desperate plan formed in her mind. Susan, she called out, the fuel lines. Can you hit them? Susan understood immediately. She aimed her last emergency charge and fired. The shot connected. The lines ruptured, spewing highly combustible fuel across the bay. The ship lifted off as Amy activated her flight pack, leaping toward the opening hatch. The Kryvax leader lunged for her, its claws grazing her leg. She tumbled through the hatch as Kate pulled her inside. The ship cleared the maintenance port as the bay exploded behind them. The Kryvax leader engulfed in flames, visible for a moment, before the explosion consumed everything. They accelerated away from the command ship, which was now drifting powerless. Energy surges visible across its hull. We did it, Olivia breathed, checking her monitors. The virus has spread to every ship in the fleet. They're completely disabled. Amy looked at her team. Each woman exhausted, wounded, but alive. Against impossible odds, they had prevailed. The Zalari fleet approached their small vessel escort ships, surrounding them in a protective formation. A transmission came through from the main ship. It was Zara, her eyes glowing bright blue with joy. You have succeeded beyond all expectation, she said. The Kryvax fleet is neutralized. Without their leadership and command systems, they cannot fight. We are securing their vessels now. The journey back to the Zalari mothership passed in exhausted silence, each woman processing what they had accomplished. They had faced an alien armada and won. They had saved Earth and countless other worlds. When they docked, the entire Zalari crew was waiting, their eyes glowing with various colors of emotion. A path cleared as Zara approached with Nyx beside her. The Queen did something unprecedented. She knelt before the 5 humans. This gesture in Zalari culture was reserved. For legends, heroes of ancient times rise with honor. Defenders of worlds. Zara said, her voice carrying throughout the docking bay. From this day forward, the name of Earth will be known throughout the galaxy. You have earned your place among the stars. In the days that followed, the women helped the Zalari secure the remaining Kryvax vessels. The alien threat was not eliminated entirely, but had been pushed back beyond the borders of Zalari space. Earth was safe for now, as they prepared to return home. Zara presented each woman with a small crystal similar to the knowledge crystal Nyx had given them. These contain something precious, the Queen explained. The coordinates to Earth have been removed from all Kryvax databases. Your world is hidden once more. But should you ever wish to return to the stars, these will guide you back to us. You will always be welcome among the Zalari. Amy looked at her team. They had arrived as strangers, 5 women with different skills and backgrounds. Now they were bound by an experience no other humans had shared. What happens when we get home? Kate asked. Do we just go back to normal life? Pretend none of this happened? Zara smiled, a gesture she had learned from observing them. Normal is not a word that applies to any of you anymore. The galaxy has noticed Earth. The Zalari will protect your world, but more adventures await when you are ready. The women exchanged glances, a silent agreement passing between them. This was not an end, but a beginning. As their ship approached Earth, they saw their home planet from a perspective few humans ever had. A beautiful blue marble hanging in the darkness of space. They returned to their respective lives, but remained connected, chosen by an alien queen. They had defended 2 worlds and changed the course of galactic history, and somewhere among the stars, Queen Zara looked toward the small blue planet now hidden from hostile eyes. The humans had proven themselves worthy allies. Their potential was limitless. She had chosen well. Amy stood on her porch months later, looking up at the night sky. Her hand closed around the crystal Zara had given her. Its subtle warmth a reminder that what she'd experienced was real. Someday, she thought Earth would be ready to take its place among the stars, and when that day came, she and her team would lead the way.